Hello and welcome to Prudent Media. My name is Sachin Chatte and on this program we review the latest movies. Today we will take a look at All India Rank, Varun Grover's debut film, and we'll also take a look at Article 370. First, let's take a look at All India Rank. Euler's identity is a mathematical equation that has been called the most beautiful equation. It has been described as a Shakespearean sonnet that captures the very essence of love, or a painting that brings out the beauty of the human form that is more than just skinned in. Euler's equation reaches down the very depths of existence. That could also be a fairly apt description of Varun Grover's debut feature, All India Rank, which has references to Euler's equation and much more. In just over 90 minutes, the lyricist and screenplay writer turned director takes us down the memory lane, both in terms of a bygone era where the story is set in 1997 when India celebrated 50 years of independence, and experiences that all of us had to go through when our parents asked, "Aage ka kya plan hai?" when we were on the verge of finishing school. Back in the day, medical, IIT and JEE were the buzzwords with lakhs of aspirants and very few seats. It was like thousands of people trying to get through a door that was barely a meter wide. Many, if not most of the students give it a shot because their parents wanted them to, or the idea was planted in their head like the Inception movie. Grover explores that phase of dreams, aspirations and struggles in the most endearing fashion in this partly autobiographical film. IIT का लड़का बर्मिडा और चप्पल में भी सभ्य दिखता है, says the father, played by Shashi Bhushan, when he drops his son Vivek, played by Bodhisattva Sharma, to a coaching center in Kota, the holy grail for IIT aspirants. The young man is not particularly excited about it. He's a smart and hard-working kid, alright, but he's unsure of going through the grind. Later in the film, we see "एक साल बहुत मेहनत करना है" scribbled on a wall. That is something every student was told. Work hard for 1 year and then you will be in La La Land. And people have discovered it the hard way that the land is never found and it is an endless chase in search of the rainbow. Vivek tries to explain his difficulties to his mother, played by Geeta Agrawal Sharma, a laddu-loving diabetic lady. But it doesn't cut much ice because for Papa, it is my way, which is the IIT way or the highway. The young man meanwhile carries the burden of his folks' dreams. He also makes friends and goes through everything that happens usually at that age, including a crush on a girl whose name is Sarika, and that's played by Samta Sudiksha, who turns out to be more smarter and more sorted than the boys. Shiva Chadda plays the coaching teacher who has seen it all. She even tells a wonderful story with a great moral, which is about a bear and a llama. The film also has wit and humor and lines like "तुम्हारी त्वचा से तुम्हारी उम्र का पता ही नहीं चलता" from the popular advertisement of that time. The faces in the film are relatively new, but the casting is top-notch, including Bodhisattva Sharma and Samta Sudiksha, and of course the parents, played by Shashi Bhushan and Geeta Agrawal Sharma. While some might find a bit of quota factory in the film, I would veer more towards Malgudi days. Either way, All India Rank gets very good grades, and I'm going to go with 3.5 out of 5 stars for Varun Grover's debut feature. And now let's take a look at Article 370. A nuanced approach in terms of filmmaking is not commonly seen when it comes to subjects that need a certain touch. Fortunately, Aditya Suhas Jambre's Article 370, even though a bit long when it comes to the length, doesn't go ballistic in its approach to telling the story of events leading to the abrogation of Article 370, which gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir. Article 370 remained a contentious subject for a long time until it was nullified by the present dispensation in 2019. Produced and co-written by Aditya Dhar, who made Uri back in 2019, which again was a competently made film, Article 370 gives us some of the facts and weaves it into a fictionalized account with some cinematic liberties. The Goa-born Aditya Jambre's competence as a director was visible in the 2 short films he made, Aba Aiktana and Kharvas, both of which won the National Award. Article 370 also has 2 superlative performances from Yami Gautam and Priyamani to drive its point. Whether the film peddles a one-sided story might require some research, but no doubt that if you walk in with a clean slate, it makes its point convincingly. The film opens with Ajay Devgan's voiceover explaining what happened in Kashmir post 1947 and how we got here. Divided into 5 chapters named The Lover of Tral, Blind Spot, Save the Date, Subclause D, and the last chapter was called Was, Is, and Always Be. Yami Gautam plays Zuni Haksar, an intelligence field officer. She is responsible for taking down Burwan Wani, after which Kashmir is on fire and she is sent to Delhi. Gradually, the events that unfold lead to the decision of declaring 370 null and void. The film smartly makes its point through Zuni that all these years of back-channel diplomacy have got us nowhere. Of course, there is more to it than that, and everything is not in black and white, but the film manages to make its point convincingly. The other lady on the scene is Rajeshwari Swaminathan, played by Priya Mani, a top bureaucrat in the Prime Minister's office who coordinates the operations and also helps to push to find a constitutional solution. Raj Zutshi plays the former CM of Kashmir, and his character is on the lines of Omar Abdullah minus the finesse, while Divya Seth dons the hat of Mehbooba Mufti. We also see the Prime Minister of India, an almost unrecognizable Arun Govil, and a Home Minister as well. While the second half of the film is more informative, it also takes many cinematic liberties. Like the climax where there is a cross-cutting between a shootout with militants while the bill is being debated in the parliament. There is also a rather silly scene where Zuni and a colleague go to a library to steal a document. With the government of India at your disposal, you don't assume an alias to get a document from a public library. But a few of those blemishes apart, Article 370 is competent cinema when it comes home to driving a narrative. I'm going to go with 3 out of 5 stars for Article 370. Well, that's what I thought of the films that were released this week. Do let us know what you think, and I'll be back with you next week with more movie reviews. Till then, it's goodbye from me.